What's up, everybody? Yet another Witcher video for Blood and Wine. Continuing off exactly where we left off last time, and I think I still have more of this side quest to do, so let's get it done. Let's see what we gotta do. Gotta solve all the Belgard problems. Alright, let's get it on.
Come on!
Hey guys, here's some narration because my mic died. So this is basically just me recording after the actual recording. So here I am fighting some giant centipedes, and I'm surprised that they named them giant centipedes. Like, there was a guy earlier saying, talking about giant spiders, and Geralt corrected him. Like, oh no, they're arachne, or whatever the monster's name was for it. But these are just, oh no, these are just giant centipedes. Yeah, these guys were tough at first. I died one time before this and I cut it out, but usually I die a couple times when I first fight a new enemy type, because I'm trying to feel them out and figure out what they do, stuff like that. Like, I didn't know you couldn't hit these guys from the back, because their hard shell kind of stuns you. Yeah, like that. You gotta hit them right from the front, which is dangerous because then they'll swipe at you. Couldn't imagine fighting 3 or more of these guys. I only fought 2 at a time. Even that was kind of tricky. There you have it. There's some giant centipede death right there. They were pretty tough, but they're a lot easier than the plants that you have to deal with in this DLC. Those guys suck bad. So the centipedes, they were a little tricky, but I mean, nothing compared to those guys.
Run, Roach.
Alright, so now we're gonna head to the next location for this side quest. The side quest was pretty long, but, I mean, it was enjoyable, a nice break from the main quest. A lot of running, though. Especially since I don't have a lot of the fast travel points unlocked in this, so there was a lot of running with Roach from place to place.
Nerve. How long you gonna make me? Giant centipede spawning ground. Should destroy it.
Oh, and this thing was pretty cool to fight. It was basically just like any other Draconid in the game, but just with like a twist. This one actually looks like a dragon, though. The same, pretty much the same moveset as, you know, like a Wyvern or something like that, just with fire. I really like the look of this guy with the fire coming out of his mouth. It was pretty cool. Yeah, this guy wasn't too difficult. I could have used Ard, the sign Ard. I don't know how to pronounce that. Ard? A-A-R-D? Anyways, I could have used that to bring him down, but I usually just sit there and just use my Gwen until they come to the ground. And that gives me time to, you know, get my adrenaline back up, or whatever you call it, the stamina. went to loot the dragon, and the guy's working right next to the friggin' guts. I thought it was funny.
I thought no one would make us. It's a pleasure to have you in Tooth.
Run, Roach.
I believe this is the last objective for the quest. And I was excited to fight these guys because it wasn't a monster, it was actually bandits. I enjoy fighting bandits a lot more than I do monsters.
The whole of us at once!
Archers in this game bug me so bad.
You'll never learn.
I don't know why people give the combat in this game such a hard time. I think they do it really well. At least I like it a lot. There's that damn archer again.
Not too late to surrender.
That's kind of new. I've never hit someone with a hard hit like that before and had them fall to the ground before this fight. I've never seen that before. So I was kind of surprised by that. Just trying to regain some health there.
This shan't drag on too long.
And there goes your arm. Later, son.
I thank you, sir. Were it not for you, well, those bandits were not pulling pranks. I could pound some new steel for you in gratitude, but I must first return to my workshop in Belgard.
Let's go. No time to lose.
I thank you again for your aid. Care to glance at my wares?
What were you doing in the Caraberta woods? And how'd you wind up a prisoner of those bandits?
Ever since the Count died, I've not had the resources to buy raw materials, meaning no new barrel hoops, no tools. So I mustered a few lads and went into the woods to scavenge. A great deal of scrap to be had in those elfin ruins, if you don't mind digging. Folks say the place is haunted, but I've no fear of elfin ghosts.
A rational man.
Rational or superstitious, it matters not. The point is, I did not see a single ghost. Yet a Hansa, yes, that we ran into. Though it seems I've more luck than sense, because you came along to save me.
See ya.
My prices are the best this side of the Yaruga.
So here I was looking for an herbalist because I didn't have the potion that makes you immune to all poisons. And I thought I did. My New Game Plus character had it, but this one didn't. For some reason, I don't know why.
Herbs freshly picked, dried, powdered. Whatsoever your heart.
And then I saw that she wants to play Gwent, and I'm like, ooh. I haven't played Gwent in a while, so I was a little rusty. I never bet much for Gwent anyways. I always bet like a coin.
Herbs schmerbs. But how about some Gwent, eh?
She totally doesn't even look like a Gwent player either. It just looks funny. So I usually go with this guy because he wins draws and it kind of gives you a more tactical advantage than some of the other guys. The other leaders are cool, but I like setting it up to where if they pass and I have the ability to meet their score, then I win that draw because that's my hero power. Or the leader power. And this is the game that got me into Hearthstone right here. Hearthstone's a lot more deep, but this is pretty simplistic. I heard that they were actually going to be making a separate game because of the demand for it. The fans kept on asking them to make it. Not really used to the cards anymore. I was a little rusty going through this again, but once I started playing, then, you know, just got used to it. Picked it up like I never stopped. Replacing Scorch. That's a pretty cool card of Dandelion. I like it. I don't like going first, though. I usually like going second. That's new. I don't recognize that card doing that. Changing. Trying to mix it up because if she throws down like a blizzard card or something, then I'm screwed. She kind of wasted that. I don't know why she would want to throw that down when she has no other cards in her close combat slot. I wonder if that still counts if you have Dandelion down. That doubles each number on the card. I wonder if you put Dandelion down first and then throw a card down after that. I wonder if it still does it. I'm not sure. I don't remember. So out here I was just trying to bait her into throwing more cards down on the board to just empty her hand. Because I knew that I wasn't really... I mean, I could have won this round, but I wanted her to... She only had 3 cards left, and I had 5, so I kind of had the advantage. Plus, I had high-value cards. So I was thinking I should just meet her, because even if she does pass right there, I'll win the draw. And, yeah, she doesn't pass, and she throws that down. So she only has 2 cards left. Going into the next round, she's screwed. So I probably could have won this round, but I decided to play it safe. Throwing down that high 15 card right away. I'll just match her. And now she's out of cards. So all I have to do is get above 19. Throw that 0 down. That'll help me get from the discard and throw that guy down. Boom. 25 to 19. There's nothing she can do. So I automatically win that one, and since she doesn't have many cards, then going into the next round I automatically win. that surprised me. I didn't know that happened. I thought she was going to have no cards on the board when all of a sudden... So if I had low-level cards, I still would have been screwed. There we go. Not a bad way to get back into Gwent. Good game like that. I've had some crazy games with some people in this game. Some people are hard to beat.
Another murder by the horrid beast. Milt of the Peyran falls victim to his own cowardice.
Now I'm gonna meet up with these people and finish the quest.
Please, don't bother me.
And that guy's being a jerk.
Tended to Belgard's problems. Vineyard should be in as good a shape as ever.
Splendid. And thus, officially by the power vested in me, I grant you title to the Belgard Vineyard, and trust that you shall make good use of its grounds and resources.
Excellent. Ah, I can already smell the grapes ripening in the sun.
We shan't forget what you did for us. Here, your pay.
But that's not all. You must come back and see us shortly. We've a surprise in store for you.
I'll do that. Farewell.
Now I gotta wait 3 days. So whenever a quest usually, or usually whenever a quest says to wait 3 days or something, I just do it automatically. Because then I'll end up forgetting about it when I go on to other business. It's very easy to get lost in this world and forget things. Kind of set that forward and then do a full 23-hour. And that should be good enough.
We've got something for you. It will only take a moment, I promise.
Sleep strengthens, and wine makes you sleepy. Ergo, wine strengthens.
Oh, Witcher, greetings. Kind of you to come. Matilda and I, we've a surprise for you.
You two seem to be getting along.
We are. There came a point we realized we had no grounds to quarrel. Things became altogether pleasant.
And a bit spicy.
Romantic. Quite.
Got it. Needn't say more. Glad things are going well for you. What's the surprise? Some new monster I need to kill?
No, something far more pleasant.
We've produced a wine. According to the best sommeliers, it might just dethrone Est.
We owe this success to you. So, if you'd agree,
We'd like to name it after you.
what shall we call it?
So I thought Geralt of Rivia was a little too plain. Butcher of Blaviken was cool, but it was a little too brutal for like a wine. Like a fine wine. I think White Wolf kind of seems more of a better name.
White Wolf.
Wild, with character. It fits perfectly.
If you wouldn't mind, we'd like to send a few bottles to your home every so often.
I'd be honored. Thanks.
No, we thank you. Take care, Witcher.
Yeah, White Wolf I think was the better choice. There's my achievement. I didn't even know I was going to get an achievement for completing this quest line. So yeah, White Wolf. A nice, luxurious wine. I think it fits.
Be gone from my sight.
And now I'm going to go meet Regis.
Regis. Couldn't have picked some other place to meet.
Regis!
Damn it. Locked. No way I got the place wrong. This is it. Gotta be. Gotta be another way in around here. Damn, you're ugly. What? Lost. Geeking wars. Victuals aplenty around here. Come on, come closer. Caking more eggs. Need to incinerate these to ash. That's some stench.
Kikimor warrior. I didn't know if those guys were insects or what, but it kind of sounded like a Kikimor. Like, it sounded like a vampire, kind of. So, I didn't know if they were insects or vampires or what, but I think it turns out they're insects. It was very interesting, too, because when they hit you, they don't just poison you. They increase your level of toxicity, so then you lose health that way. And you can't even use any potions if it's, filled all the way, so I thought that was interesting. I don't know of any other enemy type that does that in this game.
An illusion. Interesting.
A Knight's Oath. Here rests Sir Ramon of Gishon. On my grave you will not find the likeness of the man who once lived. I gave my heart, soul, and body to the knightly craft, and I wish to be remembered as a knight. The symbol of chivalry is a naked sword, and the symbol rests above me. The sword that defended my honor, my friends, and my heart. The sword that was closer to me than a brother. The sword that was never stained by the blood of an innocent man. Let it rest on the stone through the ages. So I straight up just took it. Feel kind of bad that I just took it though. It's not as good as the one I have. So I thought, to make things right, I would climb on top and put the sword back where I found it. Right on top of where he rests. In a small bag. Well, I mean, technically it's above there, so I don't know what to say. And finally we're at Regis.
Agreed to meet a vampire at a cemetery. How much more cliché can you get?
Nothing comes readily to mind.
Could have left the door unlatched.
What of my privacy? I value it rather deeply. Unmolested, especially by unwanted guests, that's my preferred state. Besides, I knew you'd find a way to get in.
True enough. Need to find your friend. I'm hoping you'll agree to help.
I shall do whatever's in my power. Yet what you want or even need must matter little. What matters is what Dettlaff wants. If he does not wish to be found, you will not find him. Ever. End of story.
Come on. Gotta be some way.
Vampires can evade detection by the senses, and no divination magic works on us. Even the most precise megascope would be useless.
And this? Could this help?
Wherever did you get that?
Off one of the beast's victims, found by a bend in the river. Body was chopped in pieces. 3 of those pieces were hands. Hand with the ring seemed the odd one out. Abruxa had taken an interest in it.
Gotta take a hit. That's some good blood.
It's Dettlaff's hand, without a doubt. It will do splendidly.
Ring's pretty intriguing. Made of no metal I've ever seen. And the ornamentation.
It comes from our home, where we lived before the conjunction of spheres. It's actually mine. I received it from a dear old friend. You might call him a humanist. He saw us vampires as guests here. Guests who owe their hosts, meaning you humans and the elder races, respect.
Respect? Meaning not to treat us like cattle to be slaughtered for food?
Precisely. And the reason why I in turn gave it to Dettlaff. To remind him of the ideals my old friend championed.
Very interesting. Where we lived before the conjunction of spheres. Did they have like a civilization or something? Were there just towns of vampires, or is that just what it was? Very interesting.
The hand. What do you plan to do with it?
You've heard of Kovinaris' theory of tissue memory retention.
Rings a distant bell. Read about it in Alchemia Oblitera. There's a copy of Kaer Morhen, tattered, nearly disintegrated. But if memory serves, Kovinaris never managed to prove it worked.
He did prove it, just never managed to publish his findings. He and I corresponded, you see, after we became friends. Thus, I know he completed his research and performed the first tests. It's complicated, so without delving into details, it is possible to use any piece of tissue to reconstruct what a whole body experienced.
How's it work? We need any special equipment?
We must brew a decoction which Kovinaris gave a rather poetic name, resonance. Once imbibed, it sends one into a trance similar to that induced by narcotics. This triggers visions of events linked to strong emotions experienced by the tissue's owner. Picture it as dreaming a fragment of someone's life.
Any chance we might see what Dettlaff was doing just before he lost his hand?
Indeed. Though I also hope resonance will reveal the location of Dettlaff's hideout.
Can't you just summon Dettlaff? You're both hired vampires, there's gotta be a way.
If I'm to be entirely candid, there is indeed one. But believe me, we will be better off never availing ourselves of it. It is a last resort. Absolutely.
Last resort? The hell? Why?
There is a being who can summon Dettlaff. Possesses the authority, even the power, to force him to appear in a given place. But the very act of contacting this being, well, it's akin to walking a slack line extended over a chasm filled with molten lava. An exercise as perilous to me as it would be to you. A risk I'm unwilling to take. I beg you, let's do it my way. It will be both quicker and easier.
Kovinaris spent half his life proving his theory. Wild guess. Making a dose of resonance won't be easy.
You guessed correctly. In addition to Dettlaff's tissue, we shall need a powerful occipital lobe stimulant. Effectively a poison, to make one susceptible to visions.
Well, got a few ingredients to choose from. Unfortunately, all are pretty rare. There's Mamoon glands, but closest ones I know of are in Vizima. A spotted white saliva would also serve, but they were cold to extinction over a century ago. Could go with a kobold's eyes, but the creatures are sentient. Rather not gouge one's eyes out.
Given that we lack the time to sleuth this out ourselves, permit me to summon some help.
What was that?
A raven? Rather a common sight at this latitude. Very intelligent fowl. I asked him to look for the creatures you mentioned. Him and his brethren. Perhaps they'll find one in the area, and I would hazard that a flock of ravens will spy any said creature faster than a solitary witcher would. With all due respect to your skills, my friend. It will take them some time, nonetheless, so perhaps you'd care for a snifter of mandrake.
Nah, Witcher's got to turn in before 9 o'clock, so I'm past my bedtime. Now let's drink.
Rarely say no to a snifter.
Sadly, this is but a weak infusion rather than a proper distillate.
Even better. I remember your mandrake hooch. Made people say things they'd have rather kept to themselves.
Now, what could Geralt of Rivia prefer to keep to himself?
So, think you've set a nice little trap for me? Sorry. Want to get me to confess? Gonna have to try harder.
I love a challenge. In that case, my ears are cocked. What must I do?
How about you get the ball rolling? Reveal one of your secrets. Vampires, intriguing creatures, must lead fascinating lives.
Anything in particular interest you?
Yeah, a lot interests me.
Got a new life, new body. That give you a new start, blank slate?
Starting all anew is a very broad concept. What exactly do you mean?
Your blood addiction, say. Wondering if your body's the same, if it still remembers. Maybe if you drank now, you wouldn't get hooked.
All addictions are a form of slavery. Re-addiction's not a risk I'm willing to take, just to test a hypothesis about corporeal regeneration and whether propensities carry over.
Fair enough. Curiosity, that's all. Sorry.
Makes a good point.
Not to worry, Geralt. Curiosity is a natural reaction under the circumstances, apart from which I've always valued that trait in you.
Always fascinated me the way vampires can regenerate. A hand growing back is one thing. A Detloff recreating you out of a wet smear? Something else entirely.
A difficult and laborious process, but one that's possible, as my presence proves. But I've heard you too had quite the adventure. They say you lost your memory.
For a bit, but Triss helped me get it back. Actually, pretty damn lucky I only had amnesia.
Yes, you humans are rather buggered in those terms. To strip you of life is, well, it's just plain easy. I've always pitied you in that regard. We vampires are much harder nuts to crack. If a member of another race kills one of us, we can be reborn with a living higher vampire's help. However, if one of our own strikes the deadly blow, death is permanent. There can be no rebirth. One of the chief reasons why vampires long ago swore never to fight one another.
I wonder if that's gonna be how we killed Detloff or something. Regis is gonna have to get the killing blow.
Gotta ask you the big question. One everyone wonders about. What happens after death?
You wish me to tell you if the human belief in the gods is well founded? Well, that I do not know. We vampires differ exceedingly from you humans. Our matter, that of which we are composed, can exist without form. We require neither a heart, nor a brain, nor air to breathe.
But were you dead?
As humans understand death, yes.
Feel anything? Understand anything?
It's rather hard to explain. I felt something very unsettling. Something I cannot even name, for I did no reasoning. Only after rebirth did I begin to understand that what I had felt was cold and unimaginable fear. If not for Detlaff, I might have drowned in an eternity of icy terror.
Can't have been alive then. Sheesh. Experience like that must be vicious.
Indeed, it's hard to compare to anything I know. Yet you are aware we don't see death as you do. The way you cling to life, we find it entirely peculiar. You are mortals, ergo it's a foregone conclusion. You will die. It's but a question of time. Thus, I often find myself wondering why you try so very hard. To die at 20 years, 40, even 100, what's the difference? They're all but the blink of an eye.
Depends on your point of view. Man who's got 1,000,000 crowns to spend can't possibly understand one who's only got 20.
Very true. One's outlook can indeed change much.
Geralt had a really good point there. That was some straight truth.
Curious what you did after you were reborn.
As I'm sure you can surmise, at first I was thoroughly absorbed with recovering. As it is, I've still not recovered completely. Yet I was so weak the first year that I could not stand or move on my own. Detlef bore my weakness bravely, showed great patience. If not for him, I wouldn't be here, and I'd have regenerated far slower. Once I could at last stand unassisted, I set off for Bruges, for my one-time home of Dillingen. There I led the peaceful life of a rural healer and surgeon, enjoying my neighbours' respect and, in fact, constituting the exact opposite of the monstrous vampire the populace imagines.
Bruges, you say? Rebirth make you sentimental?
Perhaps a dash. But what of you? Where have you been? Ever find your Cyrilla?
Back then, yeah. But we parted again soon after. And when the time was ripe, she came back, defeated the Wild Hunt together.
Ooh. Seems I certainly missed quite a bit while I was absent.
True enough. But it's a conversation we'll have another time. Need to know more about you now.
Why doesn't Geralt just tell him? We've been asking Regis all these questions.
All right. Give you one question. What do you want to know?
One question to ask one as fascinating as you, Geralt. Cruel parsimony, I'd say. But I shall do my best to make it count. If you were to die and be reborn as I was, in your new life, would you choose to be a Witcher?
I feel like he would. He doesn't know any other way.
See, Regis. Doubt I'd know how to be anything else.
Ever tried?
See, you're determined to get an answer, to find out if I like being a Witcher. Just refuse to ask directly, as always. I like being on the path. I like picking up a lead, a trail. I like the tension right before a fight. And nothing gets my adrenaline flowing like battling a beast. Even gotten used to people treating me like a freak, an outcast. Yeah, not something I think about much, but I like being a Witcher.
Thank you for being honest. Honesty is an attribute of the truly brave, and thus a privilege of the very few.
Still no sign of your winged friend. Sure it understood what you wanted?
Dead certain. Let's wait a bit longer. It'll return soon, don't doubt that for a moment. Ever vigilant, even in his sleep. Quite vampire-like, in fact. Are you absolutely certain they don't administer a few of our genes during the trial of the grasses?
Far as I know, none. Now what you got for me?
You were right. No kobolds or mamoons for miles around.
Knew it.
Allow me to finish. You see, there's this spotted white. It haunts an abandoned residence in the Caraberta woods.
Impossible. My brethren hunted down every last spotted white before I was born.
Then it seems you must revise your knowledge of spotted whites. For somehow this one managed to survive your brethren's onslaught. It seems I know this home it haunts. Recall a tale about it. Locals believe the place cursed. Perhaps that's how the white survived entirely unmolested.
else about this curse?
I don't recall much in particular. Really don't attach much importance to such things. It was mentioned to me as an anecdote, no more.
Come on, search your memory. Something, anything could be important.
I believe it had a relation to hunger, or, perhaps greed, rapacity. Someone was punished for something...
Textbook definition of a curse, pretty much.
Sorry, Geralt, I try not to clutter my mind with the details of every far-fetched tale I happen to hear. What are your thoughts?
A specimen of a species thought long extinct, and a curse, in one place. That a coincidence, or are they related?
Ah, professional curiosity. Personally, I've nothing against you delving into this dilemma, but please remember we need the White's saliva. Nothing beyond that.
Whites rarely appear in the woods, even less likely to find them in abandoned human homes. They inhabit remote wildernesses, old abandoned cemeteries.
What's your point?
This might not be a spotted white after all. Your little helper might have made a mistake.
I sincerely doubt it. Ravens are devilishly intelligent creatures, and they've highly developed observational skills.
What exactly did they observe?
The area around the estate, it's covered in spoons.
Spoons?
Spare me the skeptical smile. I'm but the bearer of this news. Or perhaps this spotted white is a hoarder. Or the spoons are somehow related to the curse.
Let's do this. Start making your decoction while I go get some saliva from that white. Uses it in its brews.
Do you imagine the white will simply sell you some?
Worst case scenario, I'll bring you its salivary glands. They ought to do as well.
For a moment there, I imagined you asking the white to spit into a vial. Quite amusing as a thought, but the salivary glands will do fine indeed.
So, see you later.
Yes, till later. I shall start by perusing some tomes.
Tomes? Thought you were gonna make this decoction.
We require one last ingredient. Alas, obtaining it could prove a trifle toilsome. Thus, I hope to identify a suitable alternative.
All right. Good luck.
And to you, my friend.
Alrighty guys, that's it for this video. I don't know if you can tell, but I got a new mic, one that actually sounds good. So if you like this video, give it a like and thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Good luck on the path.